welcome. You're watching our special broadcast, and today I'm joined by one of the finest actors of our country, Mr. Manoj Bajpayee, and the very talented director Kanu Behl. And this duo is getting for us a investigative thriller. The name of the movie is Despatch, that revolves around the life of a journalist who is about to make a big expose. Let's begin our conversation. Thank you very much for joining us here in the studios. मुझे याद है last time when you came for the promotion of one of your movies, you said, I want to play the role of a reporter on screen. Your wish has been granted, or did you know back then that you were part of this project?
I knew that I was only creating a stage for it. Because deep inside I'm a Bihari.
So you knew that you were going to play a reporter, and how did this come about to you?
I mean, it was him. I was talking to him about a collaboration, possible collaboration, and he offered me a script where I didn't think that it will be the right one to start with. Then he came up with this one just when the COVID was starting, and we were very lucky in finding the producer. I would say, I just had to call 2-3 people, and the third one happened to be Ronnie Screwwala. He just, mentioned one day that, Manoj, if you have something, then give it to me. Yeah. Because he sent me a script, which I told him that, Ronnie, this is not the one I'm looking for. But he said, do you have something? I said, yes, I have something. I'm sending it to you. And, in no time it got greenlit by him and his team.
I think the idea was conceived in 2016. I've seen in many of your interviews. So what took so long? Was it all the research, the fact that it's a very complex subject, or it just happened that way?
Yeah, it has to be, because, I mean, I have a very deep theatre film background, but I didn't know too much about the journalistic world. And it's a huge responsibility to take on as a filmmaker. You're trying to embark on telling a serious, relevant story that'll hopefully reach out to people and force, some conversations to begin around it. So you can't be very flippant. So 2016 mein, there are the roots of the film lie there, but it took me and Ishani, my co-writer, took us about 18 months of research to figure out what the lay of the land is, what is this world, how do people within that world view the world from inside.
So is this movie actually based on the life of a particular journalist, or is this actually about the 2G scam, or is this about everything that was happening around and that as well?
Yeah, so the thing is, when we started out, it was probably started out from one idea or the second idea, but as we sort of kept on researching, we started realizing a very interesting thing about this world. So I went ahead and spoke to a lot of cops, a lot of obviously crime journalists, a lot of lawyers, a lot of some people from the underworld. And the larger lay of the land that we sort of formed was that everybody inside said, अब आज की दुनिया में कहाँ क्या क्यों हो रहा है और कौन कर रहा है, ये पता करना भी अब possible नहीं है.
So, normally when you interview film makers and actors about a movie, you feel like an outsider? That, we are from the journalism background, we don't know what's happening in the movie industry, but today I feel like the insider, because we're talking about a movie that revolves around the life of a journalist. So how did you like our world? And that too, I mean, you're playing a crime reporter.
It's good and bad, everything, so it's no different from any sphere of life or any job area. Even when I started knowing all my friends when I was doing theatre in Delhi, you'll be surprised that many of the times my roommates were journalists or painters who became stars of that world. But deep inside, all of us are the same. Okay, people make the world, right? Journalism, the world of journalism, a world of cinema, or world of paintings. It is all made by the people, and people are somewhere, in my opinion, are same. They are conflicted. They are insecure. They are always, in dilemma about their own identity. So I never felt that Joy Bagh, whom I'm playing, is somebody who is very unique. Yeah, he's unique in a way that his grey is quite a lot. At times, you you don't want to judge him, but at times you are judging him when you are reading the script or when you are trying to play. Can it happen? Can a man stoop that low? Can he really slide down to that length? You know, so all of those questions keep coming to you. So it's about the world. Dispatch is about this world and about a journalist, but not all of them are like that. You understand? There is this middle-aged guy who's going through his own crisis, and in that crisis, how much he is able to hold on to himself and how much he's failing in doing so. So it's all about everything.
You know, journalists, and that too a crime reporter, they're very inquisitive by nature. They can smell the story from a distance. That's how, you know, their character is described as in real life also. So did you pick up these traits to, you know, kind of imbibe in your acting through the friends that you're surrounded
There are
by?
many nuances to it, actually. And I really give it to Kanu for that, and Ishani both. And Kanu for literally, you know, picking those gaps and really guiding me there. That they are not only smelling a story, but when they are chasing a story, they are like animals. Okay, so they are using all kind of tricks when they want this story out. Sometimes they are like mafias. You know, their whole attitude, the way they are approaching the story, or the way they are approaching the insiders or the informer. Sometimes they actually threaten like mafias, or they behave as if they are as powerful as any policeman. But these are the tricks that they use. But the thing is, when the conscious part of it disappears, when he himself doesn't know when he should stop acting or pretending, then it becomes part of his nature. Okay, and I think that becomes the reason of the fall also. When you really start believing that you have that power,
Right.
you have that control, and then you start losing it completely.
You know, there's one other aspect which is very interesting in the movie, is about how digitization has impacted traditional media, because in today's day and age also, here you are, you know, on the storyboard thinking about a story and how to present it. By that time, you see that a conversation has started already on social media. How did you capture that?
Yeah, so we actually tried to set the film somewhere during that transitory period where print is sort of fading away, and actually the film begins with pretty much the first scene is where they're talking about a new digital department that is entering, and there's a digital editor that has been hired.
Late 90s.
Yeah,
mid-90s, late 90s.
I mean, we didn't really want to commit to a specific time period, because I also wanted a certain timelessness for the film, because as you said, even now, you know, the world is changing so rapidly. It could as easily be today's story also.
Right.
But yeah, for some sort of an inflection point sake, that's where the film starts. So the digital editor is coming in and the whole staff is being introduced to her. So we set the film there, and really, you know, the journalistic aspect, as Manoj was saying, is really the backdrop for the film.
Also, I think, you know, this is very common to all of us, like cricket and religion, news consumption, because on a daily basis, everybody consumes news. Very few people, or not many, know what's happening behind the scenes.
Right.
You yourself keep yourself updated, I'm sure, by watching or reading. And then you've been part of
yes,
and part of a film that goes behind the scenes also.
Right.
So what is your take on what you're watching right now in terms of what's happening in the news industry?
News industry.
Now, like an outsider, I'm asking
Switch off the cameras and then we'll talk about it on a cup of coffee.
We can talk about it till the cows come home.
Yeah, one part is very much right, that I'm a news junkie. I used to be a cricket junkie once upon a time. I really used to cancel the dates of the shootings. I was completely into it. Similarly, you know, catching the news, early morning news, was part of my life. Is not anymore. Also because I'm not too happy with the way news is being covered, either on satellites or on social media. Both. Print is something, you know, sometime I read, mostly editorial. But reading between the lines is something then I have to depend upon quite a lot. Trying to find the nuances in that given news So quite a lot of work one has to do when you're reading a news.
Now, we are trolled by both sides, irrespective of what we are covering. Is your movie going to make us troll more, or is this going to give us...
No, see, I mean, the Kanu has made a fantastic film. I mean, there, you know, we are saved completely in that department. For the first time, he made me do a few intimate sequences where I was very shy and very hesitant and, you know, quite withdrawn initially, but his workshops really helped me. And the actresses, their support, I would say. I mean, it's always the other way around, but in this case, in my case, it was Shahana Goswami who really took care of me in those sequences, or Archita and her reverence for me, you know, it really made me feel very, very comfortable. Or the actress from West Bengal.
And me as the intimacy coordinator.
And he as an intimacy coordinator. It's the most hilarious.
Is this very uncomfortable on the sets while you're shooting, or like you said, he made you all very comfortable?
He makes anyone comfortable, but on the set, there is another part of him which is quite dangerous. Because if you look at him, he's quite engrossed into his own thought and how things should be done and what are the shot next. So God has given him big eyes, and they become bigger. So you really can't make out whether he is thinking or he's angry. Okay. The Archita, who is the youngest one, she used to be so scared and intimidated. I see her now very open with him.
Intimidated by you? Or
Not by me, by him.
He is not intimidated at all. He's like a giant panda on the set. And also, you know, he was taking care of everyone because he was the most experienced amongst all of us, even for me as a director and for all the other actors.
That is intimidating, no? When you have an actor on the set who's so experienced and...
But I don't do that.
No? You don't behave like that perhaps on the set.
Not at all. Not at all. He's always this, you know, overarching, warm sort of presence on the set. वो मैं थोड़ा सा उसको इतना वार्म था कि मैं काउंटर करता था कि इतना भी खुशी सेट पे मत ले गया और
इसको दिक्कत होती है खुशी से.
ऐसा ही मूड होता है क्या? Because you're shooting a
I have this thing
crime
that
thriller.
I'm making a serious film, you know. This
that's
is
what I
a
was
serious
getting
film.
to.
This is, No, I have that thing.
Okay. So you like the mood to be serious on the set because it's
it helps.
an investigative thriller.
He's right.
It helps because you get very limited time to shoot the film, right?
It's always about disturbing the sur of your co-actor, of another creator.
So, but then do you have to stay in character all the time to maintain that?
Man, it's about being with the sur and the pitch of it. तो हमको उतना वो एक माहौल फिल्म के हिसाब से बनाना पड़ता है. If I'm shooting say Family Man,
He's a hard taskmaster.
no, he's not only him. He's a hard taskmaster, but it's an actor's job also. It's all the creative people's job to be with the director and with the film's mood.
Is it true that you were a bit concerned कि ये movie देख करके क्या reaction होगा? Your friends, your family, how they react to it? Was it about that one scene, you know, like how
I keep telling my family,
TRP,
all my brothers and sisters, I keep telling them, please watch it alone. It's an adult film. There are a few intimate sequences. If you watch it with your adult children, you know, it will be uncomfortable for you guys. So, this is what I keep saying. So, I'm being responsible person here. Great film which has few intimate sequences. Doing that, I was very uncomfortable, but because of his help.
Putting the disclaimer पहले ही मैं बहुत uncomfortable था. I was very uncomfortable doing it.
No, but I mean, I don't come from Mumbai like you, right?
What do you mean? People who come from Mumbai are comfortable with it.
It's about the exposure. I come from a small town village, and that part is still there. Okay, no matter how many years of my life lived in urban cities and the metropolitan cities, so it was a difficult thing for me. But you know, Kanu was.
इसीलिए इतने सारे टेक भी लग गए ना, बार करना पड़ा.
कितने टेक
पहले 15-20 तो विलेज बॉय निकालने में ही निकल जाते थे, जहाँ पीछे से हम बोल रहे होते थे सर ये नहीं है, जॉय ऐसा है, जॉय वैसा है.
Joy will make out this way.
I got to imagine that, and to actually be doing that kind of commentary and instruction, that I think the most difficult
thing. It was hilarious. Let it be switched off. I will tell you how it was.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the
We'll
scenes.
talk about it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Also, tell me, are you only worried about that, or are you also worried about the kind of reactions that will come in from various quarters? Because this journalist in this movie is also taking on the corporate world a little bit, also taking on, and I believe highlighting the unholy so-called nexus.
No, there we are completely, sure that Kanu has made a fantastic film, a film that that everyone is going to be proud of. It's an international film. Let me put it this way: it's of that quality, and this film is not really going to leave you so easily. I mean, you will not be distracted. You will not afford to get distracted once you start the film. There we are very sure. I'm very proud of the fact that we have a great film in our hand. But having said that, I must say that all the questions that you are talking about, the questions will not be regarding that. Because also there is a journey of this person and the kind of person he is, apart from the journalist, the superstar journalist that he is. Question may come regarding the intimate sequences, but not during the time when they're watching it. This is my observation of the people who have seen the film. When they'll come out of the film, once the film leaves them alone, then they will say, why? because this is the way we react as a country, right?
It's also
and most of us are, we have that middle class mindset. Most of us, we haven't left our villages behind, like you said. A little part of that lives in us.
Yes.
But that at the end of the day is what we were trying to do with the film anyway.
Okay.
I mean, the film is also out there as a human document. It is not taking pot shots at this one or that one, or it is not about the plot, or it is not about the mystery. It is about all of that as a skin outside. But really, it is exploring the human landscape, and that is the real play, right? So once, as he said, once the film is over, it hopefully moves you.
So you're saying no taboo. Just because this individual is a journalist does not mean that the individual is not doing this or not doing that.
Right.
But you're also trying to capture that.
I mean, the individual does everything.
Yeah.
They do the good and they do bad and they do the worst. And all of us do that. So the film is a human document. It will connect to all our lives because we are fallible. All of us are fragile.
True.
All of us are fallible at some point. So it will move you and something will shift, and hopefully there will be a conversation about the film. And then, of course, there can be our own prejudices which might play up more as a battle against what the film might be trying to do to us. So if something is moving and I'm uncomfortable, then I'll try to get some things to stop my own discomfort. So my feeling is that some of these things will fight with how the film is trying to get inside your gut, and not just trying to stay here or here. Or it's also trying to go deeper and
But for all the directors who will see this movie, have already seen, or they can approach you now with such scripts that have intimate scenes, since you have now finally put it out there.
I'm not scared of that because I know that all of them are not Kanu Behl. He has his way, and he has that kind of intellectual ability to really demarcate between a scene and a non-scene. Okay, and that is very important. He's very responsible, and he's also very committed to his story. And there he is responsible enough not to have anything just to titillate people. There are thousands of reasons to have that line or to have that sequence. So yeah, you cannot do these things again and again for every film, because as I said, there are very few directors who will have these scenes, because without these scenes,
something is incomplete.
This journey is not complete.
So now let me ask you some questions about you. How do you manage to look the same?
I don't think.
Are you on some special diet or something?
I'm not. I've never been on a diet. I don't restrict my diet. But yes, my dinner is absent. Most of the people don't eat they eat their dinners. My lunch is my last meal. this is something I have been following for many years, and you don't need to worry. You'll disappear, darling. Please don't do anything.
So you don't have a dietitian who's
No.
telling you what to eat, itna gram
There is
khaiye,
a
utna gram khaiye.
nutritionist I sometime consult with, and he's a rock star of a nutritionist. Yes.
Nutritionist.
Yeah. Give me a cup of tea. But otherwise, I follow my own thing.
So what do you like? Your typical sattu paratha, or you good to experiment?
I experiment with everything, but the quantity is very, very limited.
So now that you're in Delhi, are you going to have the parathas with
just
the
had
makhan
chole
and
bhature.
everything? Oh, chole
In my
bhature.
breakfast, yeah. Just had chole bhature. Yesterday I had something because I'm on vegetarian diet right now.
Are you a foodie?
I'm very much a foodie. You can't even imagine. I cook. Sometimes I cook also. So most time I'm watching all
Cookery shows.
cookery shows.
So are you an expert in vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food?
I'm non-vegetarian, mostly mutton and chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a vegetarian. I'll never get to taste the non-veg food that you make.
No, but I can make aloo parol ki bhujia.
Oh,
which is-
bhujiyas, of
yeah,
course, of course.
yeah. And I can make
Chokha.
Yeah, chokha I can make kadhi. Paneer I don't like, so nothing.
You get
of it.
time to cook for your family? Like,
I mean, my wife doesn't let me enter the kitchen because she thinks that I make a mess of it. So,
most men are like that, aren't they? एक dish बनाने जाएंगे पूरे kitchen को तहस नहस कर देंगे. So let me ask you now, since this is a movie with, behind which a lot of thought, I'm sure has been put in along with the efforts and everything. So when you make such a movie and it's out there, do you also expect it to make a change, for things to change?
I don't think cinema changes.
No, not cinema. I mean, after this movie is out there, like he said, it will move people. Do you expect it to change the system or, contribute even 1% in how things are today?
Definitely, contributing 1% means, people having a good conversation around the film. Okay? If they talk about the scam that he is chasing, if they talk about the challenging life that a journalist leads, if they talk about the life in general, how difficult it has become for professionals to have a good, healthy married life, a personal life. If they talk about all of this, then we are home.
It has made a mark.
Yeah.
And what about you, Manoj ji? बता दीजिए व्यूअर्स को अभी आप ऑलरेडी आपके दिमाग में कुछ चल ही रहा होगा.
Next आप क्या play
Next आप-
करना चाहते हैं?
Okay, my next one is Fable. Ram Reddy has directed it. It is going around the festivals, all international film festivals. It has won few awards also. It's a magical, magic realism kind of a film. Then I'm shooting for Family Man. I shot one film already, and the director is an American. I have Family Man will be complete by the end of this month.
Oh,
Yes.
that is big news.
Shooting will be complete.
Everybody who knew I'm going to interview today, family, friends said, please पूछना कि अब next कब आएगा.
हाँ.
Family Man जानने में लोगों को बहुत interest.
उनको बोल दीजिएगा 4 सीजन तक कमिटेड है, उतना तो आएगा. उसके बाद पता नहीं है आएगा कि नहीं आएगा.
But thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you,
always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for talking so freely and in a frankly manner about this movie.
Thank you.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.